Hi, I'm Jeannie Ralston. I'm the founder of Next Tribe, and I'm so glad you're here because I adore Jane Austen, and I just have had this fantasy for the longest time of doing a trip to kind of really get into her world. I just can't think of anything better than to kind of live in a Jane Austen novel. I mean, with all the modern amenities, of course, but anyway. But and I really thought about this trip when we did our trip to Santa Fe a couple years ago, and we really ended up focusing a lot on Georgia O'Keeffe, and people loved that. They loved the kind of the life she lived and how it inspired them to live a bold life and what we learned from her life. And I was like, well, if we're really talking about women that we are are famous and have done something incredible, and there's so many of us admire, I thought instantly of Jane Austen. And so that's when I started trying to put this together. So I finally I've been working with a company in England to get the very best of this area of England. And we ended up, I know you probably saw, I sent a note with a revised itinerary. We decided to spend more time in the Cotswolds, which is so gorgeous, beautiful, beautiful area of England, one of their, a national preserved area. So here I'm going to share my screen now, and I'm going to show you some things I've put together about the trip and the itinerary. So just give me a minute. This is my weakest moment when you're going to end up seeing a lot of my actual screen. And oh, there it is. I mean, stuff on my desktop. So you're going to be like, what? Okay, I think I did that okay. Whoops, no. Right. Now I'm going to make it full screen. Okay, so Jane Austen and the Cotswolds. And to me, the fun of this is channeling the Bennet sisters. I mean, I probably know every word of Pride and Prejudice, and I listen to it. I think I've written about it. I listen to it when I can't sleep, because if I fall asleep, it doesn't matter because I always know what happens. But it's just, I just think that her characters, her her wit, and she's almost, she's pretty subversive for that time with the characters and the way they react. I mean, think of Elizabeth Bennet challenging the Darcy's aunt, Lady Rosing. No, what's her name? Lady Catherine. I say
Lady Catherine.
Yes, sorry. Here I say I know every word. Now I can't remember her name. Anyway, but I know that the people might poo-poo the whole marriage plot of most Jane Austen novels have we're talking about marriage, but really it's if you look at it as a way of how women can exert force, and I mean some kind of power in that small setting that they have, where they are only allowed to act in certain ways. If you remember that and imagine what they have to work with, then I think it takes on even more significance and more admiration for her characters who are so real. And especially if you look at the Bennet sisters and how different each one of them is, they probably represent so many different types of women at that point of what their yearnings were, how they managed society at that time. So we'll start. Oh, that's me, rabid Jane Austen fan. There I am. I'm not a Jane Austen scholar, as you can tell, because I forgot Lady Catherine's name. But anyway, but I just admire as a writer and just as a woman, and just a human. So we'll stop at our first stay is 2 nights at Tylney Hall, which is just divine. And look, it looks like in and of itself, it could be in a Jane Austen novel, and very luxurious, beautiful gardens. And so we'll have, on this trip, we have some hotel nights that are just as spectacular and in keeping with the Jane Austen theme, even if she didn't visit here. But so then we'll start out by going to her cottage, and where she lived, and then Chawton House is where her brother ended up living. So a lot of her characters, when they interact with people in high society, this is a lot of what she absorbed and wrote about. I mean, obviously not in all the details, but just that the pace of life, the kind of life, it's what was in Chawton House, what was how people lived there. And then we'll also go to her final resting place. I mean, it's Winchester Cathedral in and of itself is an amazing place, but she's there, buried there, and with we can note that. And I just think that's tremendous. I mean, that to me, I've just to think of that of her. I guess I'm a groupie. How about that? I'm not a scholar. I'm a Jane Austen groupie. I want to take a rubbing of this little thing here. So anyway, and we'll stop on the way from that area on our way to Bath. We'll stop at Lecoq Village, which was a stand-in for Meryton in Pride and Prejudice. So here's kind of the way it is on the left. But on the right here is how it was dressed up for Pride and Prejudice, and you can see Mr. Collins there with Elizabeth. Only imagine what's going through Elizabeth's mind right there. But it's, I just try to think of what they did here. They had to put down so much dirt to cover the paved roads and that kind of thing. So, to me, it's fascinating to see how they transform something and, back 250 years or more. So then we'll go on to Bath. And as Jane Austen lovers know, that many of her novels, this was kind of the social hub, particularly in Persuasion. I think all of Persuasion happens here. So of course we'll stay at it's called the Bird Bath, which I think is just it's a sweet hotel with a cheeky sense of humor, obviously, because they're like the Bird Bath. And I remember when I was first reading it, I was like, I'm reading something wrong. We're not staying in a bird bath. What a silly name. And then I got it. It's the Bird Hotel in Bath. So, and we'll have time to explore Bath somewhat, whatever. But the main reason we're there in Bath is there's a Jane Austen Festival going on. And it happens every September. And this coming up is the 250th birthday. So it is just Jane Austen. It goes on for 10 days. We will only be there really for 2 days. And you can choose if you want to be dressed up. There's a parade. We can dress up and be in the parade, or we can just watch. But it's it makes me smile. I think of all these people who really just enjoy this period, her books. So we can be in the parade, and at the same time, there's a lot of different activities. Like there's speakers talking about romance in this, or courtship in this period of time. And then there's how the reticule that they all carried, you actually could make one. So there's lots of activities around this festival. It's not just a parade. There's really something scholarly, people, Jane Austen scholars speaking about things, some kind of funny things about cooking or food, and not funny, but more cultural, about food in that period of time, or just your face, body treatments or beauty secrets from that period of time. So we'll have the parade, and the other thing that's on the for sure is a dance. And you can see this was Netherfield with Bingley and Jane, but this is supposed to be Mr. Bennet, I think. That's not Bingley on the other side. But there's a dance, and again, you can dance. I think you have to be dressed up to be at the dance, but but if you know, I guess if for me, if you're going to go, we might as well just go all in and just just do it. Just do the whole Jane Austen thing. And I did look, you can order Regency style dresses on Amazon and stuff. And I'm arranged with a photographer in the area to do our portraits. So, because you got to capture this. We've done this. If we come over, if we haul our outfits from across the ocean, we should document it and just have a great time with it. So I think that will be a wonderful memory, is to have that on film. So then we're going to head off into the Cotswolds, which is called an area of natural beauty. It's one of the designated areas in England as like superb beauty. And as you can see, there's just beautiful views of farmland. There's lots of villages with stone buildings and bridges and all that. It's like, to me, it's kind of like when we think of England, like a fantasy England, I think it's where our mind goes is actually in the Cotswolds. That's what I've thought. And we're going to be staying in the southern part of the Cotswolds, which is so we're not spending too much time driving, because there's a northern and a southern part. We'll stay in the southern part, which is not too far of a drive from Bath. And we're going to stay at the Hare and Hounds Inn, which is again another tremendous inn, beautifully English and gorgeous 4-poster beds, and just the kind of sumptuous thing you dream of when you think of a good English inn. And Chavanage House, I don't think I'm saying that right, is one of the film sites. Another film site we'll visit, and it was used in the filming of Emma, and it was also for, I didn't put this in the itinerary, but if you're a Poldark fan, it's actually does anybody here a Poldark fan?
I am.
Okay. It was the house, it was Poldark's ancestral home. Not that he was living there, but the evil cousin
Yeah.
lived there. But anyway, so and this picture was captioned, Poldark sat here in this chair, but we'll get a beautiful view. I mean, a beautiful tour of the house and lunch here. And it's just a gorgeous, sumptuous little English spot. Tetbury Town is one of the prettiest towns in the Cotswolds, so we'll have time there. And it's very close to, oh wait, sorry, before that, before we go to this where it's very close to, I wanted to say that we'll have some time to go on a ramble in the Weston Brit Arboretum in the area, just another, where it's just gorgeous nature. And that's kind of what the Cotswolds are known for, is just really plugging into nature in the English countryside. But we will be going to Highgrove, which is King Charles' place. And I mean, if it's good for Charles, then we are going to the southern part of the Cotswolds, then it's good enough for us. But we'll have a chance to explore his gardens. Obviously the house is not open, but the gardens are. So that will be a treat. And that's all right there. And then for our last night, we'll go to Malmesbury. And this is the oldest continually occupied village in England, which I had never heard of, but it's right there in the Cotswolds, really sweet. We'll have a nice little dinner like these women are. And we'll end, don't you love this picture? We'll end in that area of southern Cotswolds, and in the next day we will be our final day will be transferred to the train station in Bath. So from there you can go explore farther if you want to stay in the area, or take a train to London, or
Highgrove.
Wow. We've been Zoom bombed. Sorry.
Yes, Zoom
I
bombed.
did not even look at what was happening, but it did not look good. Whatever happened there. At least it wasn't penises. We were Zoom bombed once with penises. So
Oh
anyway.
my gosh.
Good reflexes, Jeannie. You got right on that.
Oh my God. So yeah, so we'll start the tour in London. Well, I'll stop sharing this. But here just where you can go if you have questions. But for Marcy, I'm going to introduce Marcy in a minute, but travel at Next Tribe. But here's just one other little picture I found. I just love this in one of the Cotswold towns. And so what I wanted to say is that, I wanted to say that we are going to we'll meet in London, and we'll meet at the train station. We'll take the train out to the first destination, or the first stop is Basingstoke, or I have to check that out. But anyway, it's like an hour train ride, and then we'll be picked up by our bus company, transportation, and that's where it starts. So we don't have time in London, but and even if you were to fly in, say you were flying in from the States, you could go from Heathrow into central London. We won't meet till like early afternoon, and most of those flights get in the morning from the US, so there would still be time for you to meet up with us in central London to take the train out to the countryside. And then we'll end in Bath. We'll get you into London, and you can decide there where if you want to stay in London, or if from Bath you want to go somewhere else, then you are free to do that. So it's a really nice a deep dive into Jane Austen and that area of the country. And I thought we would also do something like have if the people who end up signing up for the trip, we could do some kind of discussion, to build up to the trip. It might be fun to reread some things and then have a discussion group about the books. And we all would know each other by then very well, and actually kind of explore the whole thing, the Jane Austen of that we all love. So I don't know if I went through that really fast, but if there there must be questions. What kind of questions are there? You can raise your hand or just write them in the chat. Oh wait, here's the chat. Oh, greetings from Chile. Wow, do we have somebody who's might be coming from Chile? Is she here? Nope. Who's that? Nadia. Nope. Okay, I don't see Nadia.
Maybe she was the Zoom bomber.
Oh, there's Nadia. No, there is not. Well, why don't we do, because I'm just curious too, if all of you, if we want to go around and just everybody kind of talk about why they're interested in this, and what, if there's any hesitations or anything that I can tell you. So Jill, are you a Jane Austen? You must be a big Jane Austen fan as well.
Huge Jane Austen fan. I don't know what it is psychologically that that movie, whether it's the first one or the second one, tends to be like a blankie or something.
Oh gosh, yeah.
I've watched it so many times, and my sister too, and it's just like, is this a weird thing that we do? But I've met so many people who do the same thing. But anyway,
you mean the Pride and Prejudice you're talking about?
Pride and Prejudice, yeah.
Yeah, I do remember. Yeah, the one with Colin Firth as Mr. Darcy.
Well, that was the best one, but the other one was also very good. Anyway, this sounds awesome. I was really chuckling about that Jane Austen Festival. I think I'd go all in and get a gown and do the dancing and all that. Why not? Like, you're there, right?
I know. That's what I thought that I would that at first I was like, is this going to be kitschy or weird? And I'm like, I don't care. I mean, it's like, I mean, you're in Jane Austen land, and this,
Yeah.
everyone you know, everyone there is feels the same way about her. So anyway, I think, and where do you live, Jill?
I'm in New England. I'm in New Hampshire. I'm watching it snow right now.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Darlene, I know you're in Seattle.
Yes. And I have can you see this? I have a Jane Austen Pride and Prejudice pillow.
Oh my God.
Hold on, camera back to me. I have a Jane Austen pillow.
Oh my God. That is so funny.
We're so
Oh my-
cool. We're so cool.
Oh, that is so cool. So has this been a lifelong thing for you, Darlene?
Not lifelong, but I'm a follower. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
That's cool.
I don't know. It's so amazing, really. I don't know what else to call it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Jane Austen, I've been to some of her some of the productions in Seattle at, theater productions based on some Jane Austen stuff. And I don't know, it just is warm and fuzzy.
Oh, okay. There's Nadia. Well, we'll get to you, Nadia. We want to hear more. But Lou lives near me in North Carolina. Oh no, and you're in northern Georgia. You're across
Yes,
the state line.
I'm in Georgia, and yes, I'm a Jane Austen fan, and I've always loved the language of the novels is the seduction. Long
Yeah.
before there is seduction, there is the language. But I do have a question. Who is going to do our hair?
Oh,
And the other question is, do we learn these dances beforehand,
Yes,
or are we
yes,
just
yes.
winging it?
No, I'm sorry. That's a good question. They do have a practice session.
Oh,
Like
good.
the day before. You can go to a practice session, and you don't have to dress up for the practice session, but you just do. They're supposedly pretty easy to learn. That's what I read.
Jeannie,
Yeah.
I'm Marcy. I'm the travel manager.
Yes. Here's our Marcy.
I love contra dancing. I don't know if you guys have ever done contra dancing.
No.
It's based on old English folk dances.
Oh,
Like I
okay.
know for
I know
sure
what
they
that
have
is. Yeah.
Nashville. I used to go in Denver all the time, but if you Google contra dancing or contra CONTRA or like old time dancing or something like that in your city or town, you might find it.
Oh,
And
so we could learn in advance.
yeah, you could start going now and you would just like be
We'd be dazzling.
ball dance.
I love that. Okay, cool. Yes, and I meant to introduce Marcy, so I'm glad that you got to meet her. Some of you might have interacted with her before. Lou, anything else? So yes, there's a practice session for dancing if we don't get it together and learn something before. But
Right.
and I anticipate that we will be dancing with women, because I'm sure there's a lot more women there than men. So anyway,
Right.
I'm fine with that. We did that when we went to Scotland, and we did our, Kaylee dance, and it's just goofy and just liberating, not to worry. And I do feel like that almost every Next Tribe trip ends up with some kind of dancing, which I love.
Good. As it should be.
Yes, and we did when we went to San Miguel, we danced like crazy, did we not?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, I have someone
Okay.
here whose number is 707. I don't have a name. 707-478-4537. If you want to unmute and tell us about yourself, if you want to just observe, that's fine too. Oh, I should introduce Bren here. Bren Lyon is can you say hi, Bren?
Hello, everyone.
Bren is just started working with Marcy to help with putting together trips and getting all the I's dotted and T's crossed and working with travelers. So we're so excited to have Bren with us. So you might be working with her too. Okay, now Nadia, if you're there, can you're a literature teacher in Chile. Well, maybe she's not there anymore. Did I scare people off? Oh, yeah, she's saying yes. We had somebody else on and it looks like she got off. Is that because I was going to come around to her? She's like, no, I don't want to talk to anybody. So, okay, that's okay. But what other questions can I answer? If not, you maybe just want to get right to the drawing for the, except I don't have the bowl. I'm going to draw, as you saw, we're going to draw for a $400 discount. And I now just need to write everybody's name down. Has anybody been, oh, I guess not, Nadia says she was in the Cotswold before. Anybody else have you been to the Cotswold or to Bath?
No.
Okay, so it's good. It'll be new
Been to
territory.
London, but
Yeah. And yeah, it's going to be a great time to, September will be a nice time to be there. It'll still be warm. And I haven't even checked. I guess it's actually when her birthday is. I don't know, but it's 250th year. It's hard to believe that. Can you imagine writing something and then it still be loved and honored 250 years in the future? I mean, it's amazing. I just think she's amazing. And, like I was saying about George O'Keeffe, there's just things that, that I take from Jane Austen's life. I know she didn't get married or, that kind of thing, but the fact that she was able to buck convention and kind of make something really important and relevant about with her life and just speak. I mean, just the way she captures the characters and kind of skewers some of the way society is at the time, but do it in such a way that somebody who's not looking for that undercurrent might not notice that it's like what she's actually doing is like, this is the most ridiculous kind of way for people to live their life. Jane, the Bennet sisters having to give way to that terrible Mr. Collins. Okay, I'm putting everybody's name down. Let me say Lou and Darlene. And who else do I have? Nadia. And if I would put this number, the 707 number down, but I need a name.
Do you have me?
Okay.
and
Do you have Jill?
Jill.
Oh, Jill. I am so sorry. Didn't I put it down? Yeah, I have it here. Jill.
Oh,
Lou.
okay.
Okay, I'm going to show everybody. So you don't, here's Jill. Here's Nadia. Here's Lou. And here's Darlene. So the four of you are in this thing. I'm not looking. I'm not looking. And it's Lou.
Yay.
Yay, Lou, you get $400 off if you sign up in the next week. And then the rest of you on the other three that are on this call, we had about 28 people sign up, but people can't make it. They wait for the recording. But because you you came and showed and invested the time and listened to me, I want to give each of you $100 off. They're on this call. And again, if you can book in the next week. And as some of you know, if you're a Next Tribe member, you already get $100 off. So total is, you could get off is $200. And I would be happy to, Marcy will take care of the the deduction after you register. We adjust your payment. And just remember too, that we have payment plans for these things that you just, it's a monthly charge. You put a deposit down and then there's a monthly schedule. So, and there's no interest or anything. It just allows you to take it bite by bite versus one big payment. So I think that, I hope that helps people. But I do, I feel really strongly that on any Next Tribe trip, there's just so much to bond us on just because we're at a certain time in life, and a lot of us have experienced similar things, and so we always, and we're curious, still curious about the world. So that in and of itself bonds us together. But I think on a trip like this, where we all have that common thread of admiring Jane Austen and literature and good writing and that kind of thing, I think that there's potential for even deeper kind of connection. And I would like to do that, little thing in the lead up where we get together on Zoom and discuss certain books and and so forth. And maybe if Nadia signs up, she's working on a literature project, maybe she can lead us. Or maybe I can find a true Jane Austen expert. I'm an amateur Jane Austen fan. I'm not a pro. So, but I think that's where most of us are, kind of like just it's from the heart, not necessarily something we've put our minds into completely, made our whole career. So I think that's real authentic. Anyway, if you've thought of any other question, now's the time, or you have Marcy's address. It's in here. It's travel at Next Tribe. Do you have a question?
Not really a question, just an observation, because I mentioned to a few people that I was interested in this trip and I was going to do a Zoom call this evening. And 2 people told me, well, take good notes because that sounds awesome. And I think so I get the feeling just, that it's going to be a very popular trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think so too. I would hope so. And but yes, and Marcy will end up sending a link to this recording, so you can actually share the link with your friends
Good.
who are interested, so
It'll
they can.
be uploaded to YouTube, so it'll be just an easy click to watch the YouTube video.
Awesome. Thank you.
Anything else? Oh yeah, Lou.
I have a question. If any of you do order a dress and you like it, if you don't mind sharing where you got it and and it's packable.
Yeah.
Because crinoline is just not going to work, but maybe a silk. Anyway, so I know I'm worrying about this too far in advance to really make
Sounds like you're
sense.
going.
Well, hell yeah, $400 off, I'm going.
Well, we're definitely, I can see, especially like on this group, we'll be getting together and talking a lot beforehand about things like that. And you're right, I'll have to find somebody about our hair. I didn't plan on that. Is anybody good with hair? I was just thinking,
No.
I have bobby pins. I can
bring bobby
pins.
pins. Yeah, bring bobby pins and hairspray. I think that's but yes, so and that'll be fun. And we will, as Marcy, once we get more people, people signed up, more people signed up, we'll establish a WhatsApp group so we can exchange ideas like this. So we'll have a time to just talk about things like hairdos and dresses. Accessories. Do I have to get little shoes with little square rhinestone pins or I don't know.
You're gonna need push-up bras.
Oh God, yeah, you do need. I always think that's so funny that the Regency period, they're so demure, but then they always have these big cleavage. So anyway,
Push all up there.
it's like showing off the goods for getting that marriage proposal. Anyway, well, it's been great talking to you guys. I love being able to talk with other Jane Austen fans. So just stay in touch if you have questions, and it's great to meet you.
You too. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
See you.
Bye.